Reading to your child is proven to hugely benefit their academic and social development. In this video, I'll give you 4 simple but extremely effective ideas on how you can help your child maximize this opportunity. Hi, I'm Mr. Charles and I've been teaching English and in particular spoken fluency for around 10 years. On my channel, Mr. Charles's Classroom, you can find lots of ideas on how to help your child improve their English speaking fluency and much more. If that interests you, then click subscribe because we will be releasing new material every week. Before we get to the 4 ideas on how you can help your child, let's remind ourselves why reading to your child is so important. Reading to your child will help your child decode words from the letters on the page. It will also help them to broaden their vocabulary, and it will help to strengthen the bond between you and your child. Reading to your child has also been proven to help them develop a lifelong love of reading. And finally, you'll help them improve their overall critical thinking ability. Now let's look at some key principles that you can keep in mind when reading to your child so that they can get the most out of it. Firstly, keep it fun so that your child will look forward to and request reading time. Secondly, make reading part of their regular routine. Have a special time of day set up where you and your child read together, for example, just before bed. And thirdly, always encourage your child to question what they are reading, to question where the story is going, what words mean, and what characters are doing. Now, let's look at the 4 strategies that you can use when you're reading with your child. Strategy number 1, your reading voice. You should be the most charismatic and engaged version of you. Children sense authenticity and passion. Let's look at 3 examples and see what you think. Are you ready? Suddenly, the ghost jumped out and scared the children out of the room. Suddenly, the ghost jumped out and scared the children out of the room. Suddenly, the ghost jumped out and scared the children out of the room. Okay, so the first one was a bit flat and boring. Try to not do this. Even if you're a bit tired, when you're reading with your child, try to bring energy and excitement into the story. This is really going to help them to be more engaged. The third voice was the most excited and crazy one. This is a great way to bring your children back in if they're a bit tired or if they're a little bit distracted, to get them back into the story. But I don't recommend spending an hour reading with this level of excitement. It's going to be too much. The middle example is probably the best one to usually stick to. You're emphasizing keywords, you're sounding excited, you're giving different voices to the characters, but you're still being yourself. This is the best way to read to your child. The second strategy is very simple, but parents don't do it enough in my opinion, and that is to ask questions. Ask questions and questions and questions. Question everything. You can start this by asking questions before you even read the story. Look at the cover, ask questions based on the title, the cover art, the setting, etc. Get your child to make wild guesses about what might happen in the story. It doesn't matter whether they're right or not. As they read the story, they'll be much more engaged because they're going to see if their ideas hold true. The third reading strategy is to get your child to read some of the words. This really depends on the English level of your child. Remember that the goal of reading to your child is to speed up the process of telling the story so that the child doesn't use all their energy trying to decode the words. However, we still want to encourage them to read some of the words. Remember that we are reading to our child so that they can focus on interpreting and understanding the story, and so that it doesn't take too long to go through the story. Good words for younger learners to read are key verbs and nouns. Get your child to repeat them after you. And for verbs, you can even get your child to act out the action that the verb represents. For more advanced readers, get them to read all the basic words, and you take the tougher ones. You can even play a fun game where you take it in turns to read 1 or 2 words each as fast as possible. For more experienced readers, get them to read the story out loud. but stop them when there's key vocabulary or a difficult concept to ensure that they understand what is happening. And that leads us to our fourth strategy, which is how to teach vocabulary. Reading to your child will open up a whole new world of words, and they will want to know what it all means. But don't just tell them the definitions of words. This is what you should do. Your child needs to learn how to calculate the meanings of words given the context that they are delivered in. The simplest way to do this is to ask your child to guess what the word means and then guide them from there. If they really have no idea or they're completely on the wrong path, give them some leading questions. The point should be that your child is comfortable trying to guess, trying to calculate, and comfortable not being sure of exactly what things mean yet. So here's an example that we can go through. Jimmy was unhappy because Rachel refused to share her toys. So what does refused mean? These are the questions that I would ask. How did Jimmy feel about what Rachel did? Was he happy or sad? So does refused sound like a good thing or a bad thing? Do you think that Rachel shared her toys with Jimmy? By this stage, your child should know that refused means something like saying no. If they get anywhere near the right answer, you can say something like this. That's right. Refuse means to not let someone do or have something. I hope these 4 tips were useful. Let us know if you've tried to put them into action. If you have any other ideas on how to engage a child when reading to them, please let us know in the comments.